Influence. The Psychology of Persuasion is a comprehensive guide to the essential principles of persuasion. The tactics used by professionals such as salespeople, advertising agencies, and even con artists to gain agreement from others. By understanding these principles, you can become a skilled persuader, while also learning to safeguard yourself from deceptive schemes. Dr. Robert B. Cialdini, a distinguished professor of psychology and marketing, has devoted over 35 years to researching the dynamics of influence and persuasion. Drawing from his expertise, he offers valuable insights into the psychological underpinnings of persuasion. As a consultant, Dr. Cialdini has trained numerous businesses to effectively apply these principles in the workplace. When shortcuts become liabilities, human behavior, like that of animals, is often guided by simple rules. Consider the mother turkey, who cares deeply for her chicks but will reject or even harm them if they don't emit the characteristic chirping sound. The mother turkey's shortcut for identifying her chicks is easily exploited by the cunning skunk, the turkey's arch nemesis, who mimics the chick's chirping to receive protection and care. Although this shortcut appears foolish in the context of the skunk's deception, humans similarly rely on mental shortcuts to navigate the complexities of life. With a vast array of decisions to make daily, we must use shortcuts to simplify our choices. Most of these shortcuts serve us well, but persuasive experts, such as advertisers and salespeople, can manipulate them to undermine our best interests. One commonly exploited shortcut is the assumption that higher-priced goods are of superior quality. While this can be true in some cases, it leaves us vulnerable to tactics like artificially inflated prices in souvenir shops. To protect ourselves from becoming unwitting victims, like the turkey mother, we must identify these persuasive tricks and strengthen our defenses against them. The power of reciprocity. When the need to give back takes over, the principle of reciprocity, rooted in our socialization process, dictates that we have an innate obligation to return favors and kindness in equal measure. This belief has played a crucial role in the development and cohesion of human societies. However, when we cannot return the favor, we often experience a psychological burden, fueled by societal disdain for ingratitude. Numerous studies have demonstrated our eagerness to relieve ourselves of this burden, often by giving back more than we initially received. For instance, in a simple experiment, subjects who received a free can of Coca-Cola from the researcher were twice as likely to buy him lottery tickets compared to those who received nothing. This illustrates how the principle of reciprocity can be exploited, with favors shaping our choices to return the gesture. Organizations like the Krishna have effectively employed this tactic by offering flowers to passers-by, compelling them to donate money as a form of reciprocation. To combat such exploitative schemes, it is essential to distinguish between genuine offers and manipulative ones. However, rejecting all favors may lead to isolation and cynicism. A more balanced approach is to accept the essence of an offer rather than the whole and respond with equal value. The principle of reciprocity implies that favors should be returned with favors, not manipulation. The deny then withdraw tactic. A sly persuasion technique. Our inclination to return favors extends to making concessions in negotiations. For instance, if a Boy Scout initially offers you a $5 lottery ticket but then retracts it in favor of a $1 candy bar, you may feel compelled to accept the candy to honor his concession, regardless of your appetite. This deny then withdraw technique capitalizes on our need to reciprocate concessions and the contrast principle, which magnifies differences between two sequentially presented objects. In this example, the candy bar appears significantly cheaper than the lottery ticket. The effectiveness of this tactic is evident even at the highest echelons of power. In the 1972 Watergate scandal, G. Gordon Liddy convinced the Presidential Re-election Committee to fund a $250,000 mission to steal documents from the Democratic National Committee headquarters. Liddy initially proposed an exorbitant $1 million operation involving wiretapping, break-ins, and other illegal activities. Although the committee rejected it, they were more receptive to Liddy's subsequent $250,000 concession. The contrast between the two proposals made the latter seem less risky, leading to the operation's approval and eventually President Richard Nixon's resignation. Overcoming the allure of scarcity and the forbidden. Our decision-making abilities are significantly impacted by the notion of scarcity. The perceived value of something increases when it appears limited or rare. Advertisers often leverage this principle through phrases like limited time offer or only a few left in stock, knowing that humans are wired to fear missing out on opportunities. Research shows that customers are more likely to purchase items advertised as scarce, with the effect multiplying when the information is portrayed as exclusive. Scarcity exerts a strong influence under two conditions. First, when the availability of something has recently diminished. And second, in the presence of competition. Whether it's a coveted item at an auction or a potential romantic partner. The prospect of losing out to someone else can fuel a burning desire. To counteract this effect, we must discern whether our pursuit stems from the genuine benefits of the desired object or simply a compulsive need to possess it. The forbidden fruit phenomenon. The age-old adage, people want what they can't have, aptly captures our insatiable longing for prohibited items. A prime example of this is the increased allure of banned cleaning products in Florida's Dade County, with residents going as far as smuggling and stockpiling them. This tendency, known as the Romeo and Juliet effect, also reflects our deep-seated aversion to lost opportunities. The forbidden fruit effect extends beyond consumerism into the realms of censorship and jurisprudence. College students demonstrated more sympathy towards the notion of gender-segregated dormitories after being informed of a banned lecture on the topic, even without having attended it. Similarly, court research reveals that juries are more likely to award higher compensation when made aware of a defendant's insurance coverage, regardless of its relevance to the case. This powerful draw towards the forbidden highlights the psychological underpinnings of our decision-making processes, underscoring the importance of rational discernment and critical thinking in various facets of our lives. Harnessing commitment and social proof for influence. Commitment and consistency play a pivotal role in shaping human behavior. A study on beachgoers' reactions to a staged radio theft revealed that only 20% intervened upon witnessing the incident. However, this number soared to 95% when the radio's owner asked people to watch over their belongings. Public commitment is a powerful motivator, driving individuals to act in alignment with their promises. The foot-in-the-door technique exemplifies this principle, where small initial commitments pave the way for larger, related requests. For instance, Chinese interrogators used this strategy during the Korean War, inducing American prisoners to collaborate by first eliciting minor concessions. Gradually, prisoners felt compelled to comply with more significant demands to remain consistent with their previous actions. Social proof, another influential principle, explains our tendency to base decisions on others' behaviors. Pre-recorded laugh tracks in sitcoms exemplify this concept. Viewers find comedic material funnier when accompanied by canned laughter. Moreover, social proof has been harnessed by churches that seed donation boxes with money to encourage greater contributions. The potency of social proof is particularly evident in uncertain situations, such as the tragic case of Catherine Genovese, whose murder was witnessed by numerous bystanders who failed to intervene or seek help. Two factors contributed to this inaction: the diffusion of responsibility amongst the group, and the tendency to rely on others' reactions in ambiguous circumstances. In emergencies within a crowd, Directly addressing a specific individual for assistance is a more effective strategy than appealing to the group as a whole. By singling someone out, they are more likely to feel a personal responsibility to act. By understanding the principles of commitment, consistency, and social proof, we can better navigate social situations and counteract potential manipulation attempts. Leveraging empathy and authority in persuasion. Our inclination to be more receptive to those we like is a principle that skilled persuaders capitalize on. Various factors contribute to our affinity for others, including physical attractiveness. The halo effect, where a person's appearance shapes our perception of their character. Research indicates we view attractive individuals as more likable, intelligent, and trustworthy. Even electoral outcomes can be swayed by a candidate's good looks. Similarity is another crucial factor. We are easily enamored by those who share commonalities or flatter us. It's not uncommon for salespeople to establish rapport by employing compliments or highlighting shared preferences. The good cop bad cop interrogation technique illustrates the power of shared objectives. Where a suspect, after enduring hostility from the bad cop, is more likely to confide in the good cop due to a perceived alliance. To safeguard against manipulation, it's essential to recognize exaggerated feelings of fondness and take appropriate countermeasures. The larger the influence, the easier it is to detect and respond accordingly. Authority holds significant sway over our behavior. From an early age, we are conditioned to obey authoritative figures without question, sometimes at the expense of rational thought. This was exemplified in a medical case where a nurse, misinterpreting a doctor's abbreviation, administered eardrops in an improper manner. Neither the nurse nor the patient questioned the treatment due to the perceived authority of the doctor. When reliable evidence of authority is absent, we often rely on symbols, such as titles and clothing, which can be easily exploited. Con artists can manipulate these symbols to assume the appearance of authority, duping unsuspecting victims. To avoid falling prey to such deception, question the legitimacy and credibility of authority figures, inquiring if they are indeed experts in their field and if their intentions align with the common good. In conclusion, recognizing our tendency to employ mental shortcuts for decision-making equips us to better understand and protect ourselves from persuasive tactics used by scammers, advertisers, and salespeople. Remaining vigilant and questioning the motives of those attempting to persuade us can help mitigate the risks of exploitation. Who can benefit from this book? 1. Individuals in sales and marketing roles. 2. Anyone who struggles to say no to sales pitches. 3. Those who find it challenging to convince others.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe